Okay, YouTube, I got the flex plate installed in the Series 1 Pro printer. Before I took this out, I should have adjusted the stop, which is the black screw at the back. I should have lowered that before I put the magnetic flex plate on there, because that extra thickness requires that you lower the build plate a little bit. So it took, I don't know, probably 3 or 4 full turns to get this down. And let me see here, I'll home it here. And now I've got my height pretty good. I get just a bit of drag on my piece of paper there. So I guess the next step, I'm going to have to go and check the bed level, make sure everything's still set up there. I was wondering if these corners were going to be stiff, but it looks like they are here. So you know, there's that little recess that's cut out, so you can remove the plate. And yeah, the steel is pretty stiff there, so you can still print out to the corners. And being that it's a square bed, you can put this flex plate in 4 different orientation, so that should help actually with evening out the wear and the life on the BuildTak. I kind of tend to print more towards the front and not way in the back, just because the web camera here can see the front a little better, and it doesn't see way back there, especially in that back corner. So by turning this material around 90 degrees, I can bring that corner up to the front, and then I can move that corner over here and then over there, and that should help maximize the life of the BuildTak. Yeah, we'll show you what some of those test results look like once I get everything dialed in here. Okay, YouTube, let's test out this BuildTak FlexPlate here. Here's the that strip. I've got that sticking pretty good, not too hard. I've done about 3 trials, and then this is my first real part here. So let's get that out. Still kind of hot, but there you can see we're stuck on there. I have to get me some gloves up here. Let's see. Looks like you can just pop them off. I guess these parts aren't really big enough for the material to flex them off. But yeah, no scraping required. You take this out. I guess the little brim there, I'll have to scrape that off a little bit. So I had to do a couple of minor adjustments here. A couple of things I had to change. One is I've noticed with the BuildTak, when it's brand new, I have to run the bed temperature at 100°C. Once it gets roughed up a little bit, I can drop it down to about 95. And then the other thing I had to do, so there's my test piece of paper. It's one of those adhesive liners off of a flat rate box. Let's go over here. So let's see, I've got my thing in there, right in the middle. Yeah. So the one thing I had to do is slightly increase the gap between the nozzle and the bed when it's cold. So now it's hot, and you can see I can't push it. I can pull, but I can't push. When it's cold, I can push this paper under the gap, because I think what happens is there's more thickness on top of the glass now, and I think as it warms up, that expands a little bit. So I had to just slightly widen the gap there. But that's my test now. When it's cold, I can just push this piece of paper in there, but when it's hot, I can't. I did get a little bit of sticking there. You can see right in the middle there, I had my bed gap too small, so that first piece really stuck on there. So then I raised it a little too much, and I had problems with the part peeling up in the corners, and then I dropped it back down just a little bit, just so that this paper can be pushed under the gap there. And the Other nice thing, you can get, let's see, the 12 by 12 inch 300 millimeter flex plate. The steel plate is available for $35 on the BuildTak site, and then you can add your own sheet of whatever you want on top. But that would be nice, you know, if you wanted to do, say, a sheet of steel with Kapton tape, or if you wanted to put like Garolite for printing nylon or different materials, you could just adhere whatever you wanted to a piece of the spring steel plate from BuildTak, and then be able to swap build surfaces. Just take this out, put in a piece of Garolite, print on that, take the Garolite out, put in a bed with Kapton tape, pull that out, put in some BuildTak. Yeah, I think that makes a pretty nice setup. So yeah, I give it a definite thumbs up. Just makes it a lot easier to take things in and out, and you don't have to mess with re-leveling your bed when you put the put this back on, because you haven't touched the adjustment screws. So yeah, I think that works out really well. If you have any questions about that, post up in the comments section below, and I'll put a couple of videos here that you might be interested off to the side. And as always, thanks for watching.